Good morning, America. Air scare, severe turbulence tossing passengers from their seats.
Someone in front of me hit the ceiling several times.
Oxygen masks dropping, personal items scattered in the aisle.
We'll need a stretcher, and I know that there is bleeding as well.
Pilots calling ahead for help before making an emergency landing. All on what's expected to be a record travel weekend.
Tariff blow. President Trump loses a major round in federal appeals court over his sweeping global tariffs. What it means for his attempts to alter American trade policy. And the chances this will all head to the Supreme Court. Plus, suspended shipments affecting dozens of countries. The impacts on your overseas orders.
COVID confusion with changes to vaccine policy. Pharmacies across the country announcing changes, some limiting access to the shots. Will your insurance cover it?
Celebrity break-ins. SWAT teams raiding a pawn shop say they recovered thousands of dollars of stolen goods belonging to the rapper Macklemore and likely other professional athletes. The update from police, including an arrest.
Billion-dollar jackpot. Tonight's Powerball drawing the largest prize of the year. With the drawing hours away, the rush to snap up a lucky ticket.
Breaking barriers as week one of the U.S. Open wraps up. Althea Gibson being remembered. Top players honoring her legacy.
Althea Gibson is our Jackie Robinson of tennis. And I think people need to know that, and I don't think they do.
Plus, college football kickoff. For the first time ever, week one includes 3 matchups between top 10 teams. ESPN's Desmond Howard on the players to watch.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Saturday. Good morning, America.
And good morning, America. So great to have you with us on this Saturday, and happy to have Mary Bruce with us back this morning in for today.
Always
Welcome.
good to be here with you, my friend.
Yep, the Acela got you here on time. Right?
Just straight up.
Excellent. Well, we do have a lot to cover, a lot happening overnight, including new details on that deadly church shooting in Minnesota. We will go live to Minneapolis in just a moment.
And also the latest on the Trump administration's talks to end the war in Ukraine. The White House still hoping to broker some kind of deal as a new round of U.S. weapons heads for Ukraine.
But we do begin here with the Labor Day weekend travel crush. There has been a scary moment in the air in what's expected to be a record-setting travel weekend. And ABC's Morgan Norwood has the latest now. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning to you, Gio. A packed flight rocked midair, passengers frantic, oxygen masks falling, personal items sent flying throughout the cabin, and all of it caught on camera and unfolding during one of the busiest travel weekends of the year.
A heart-pounding scene aboard the SkyWest flight after severe turbulence suddenly rocked the cabin. Oxygen masks dropping from overhead.
Okay, we hit really, really bad turbulence, and I've never seen anything like this.
The flight with 39 passengers on board traveling from Aspen, Colorado to Houston, making an emergency landing 165 miles short in Austin. Passengers tossed around.
Someone in front of me hit the ceiling several times. Grown man flew up like a rag doll.
On the radio, pilots calling ahead for help.
We will need a stretcher, and I know that there is bleeding as well.
2 passengers taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Purses and papers scattered into the aisle. Soda dripping from the ceiling. And what appears to be a laminated food menu piercing the roof.
My iPad and phone, are 3 or 4 or 5 rows back.
I looked down and there was a cell phone in my lap that wasn't mine that came fly. I guess it flew up and landed in my lap.
That incident amid an already bumpy start to the Labor Day travel weekend, from crowded airline terminals to that system failure at Newark Airport. The FAA still investigating what caused those ATC radios to malfunction in one of America's busiest airspaces.
So SkyWest, which operated that flight, says that plane did land safely, met immediately by medical crews right away. SkyWest says it's working with its partner United to help out customers. But what a scary situation, Gio.
Very, very scary. And each holiday, it seems to break records, right? More and more people traveling. This one is no different. So what do people need to know right now? Because it's going to be busy, no matter where you are, on the roads or at airports.
Yeah, every year we say that each holiday is going to be the busiest, and the numbers really prove it. It's 17 million Americans from coast to coast taking to planes. So we always say get to the airport a little earlier. But, millions more of you are going to be driving. In fact, there's good news on that. Gas prices down $3.20 from $3.36 this time last year. So that's incentivizing more people to hit the roads. But we always say up early, leave late.
That's right.
Always good advice and some welcome news for drivers there.
Yeah.
Morgan, thank you. So let's see how the Labor Day weekend forecast is shaping up. Brittany Bell from our New York station WABC is here. Hey, Brittany, good morning.
And good morning to you, too. This summer is flying by. It's already Labor Day weekend, so off to a fantastic start in New York City, where skies are nice and clear, pleasant sunshine, but temperatures feel more like fall, and that's the scene across most of the country as we head into the rest of this weekend. I want to show you temperatures running close to or below normal. Also a chance for scattered showers, especially across the midsection of the Central Plains. A chance for rainfall in Denver. Also scattered rain in Houston, 94. Pretty wet as well in Orlando. A similar setup heading into Sunday with more rain stretching from South Dakota, Nebraska, as far south as Texas. Also pretty wet for Florida. But notice out west, more sunshine building and temperatures gradually warming up over the next few days. On Monday, a heat wave starts to build across the Northwest. Still wet for the Central Plains, but not as bad compared to the past few days. Fantastic across the Northeast and wet for portions of Florida. We'll have more details about your forecast heading into next week coming up. Whit?
All right, Brittany, thanks so much. We'll check back with you in just a bit. Now to President Trump losing a significant battle in his push to impose sweeping tariffs on global trading partners. A federal appeals court ruling that the president has no legal authority to impose the surcharges. ABC's Olivia Rubin is here with the details on that. Olivia, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Whit. This is a major blow to a cornerstone of President Trump's agenda, and it could have the biggest impact on your wallet, though not quite yet. A federal appeals court striking down most of Trump's sweeping tariffs, finding that he overstepped his authority when implementing them. Now, this all comes down to exactly how Trump enacted those tariffs, by utilizing a rarely used law that gives the president special authority after a national emergency. The court essentially saying, though, that was illegal, writing instead that tariffs are a core congressional power. But this ruling won't come into effect until at least October, giving Trump plenty of time to appeal, and he's already indicated that he will do exactly that. Trump calling this decision, quote, a total disaster, and vowing to get it reversed by the Supreme Court. Whit.
And Olivia, beyond this court ruling, there's also that tariff loophole that's going to remain closed for now and could have an impact on consumers.
It all remains closed for now, and 30 carriers in over 30 countries have suspended some of their shipments into the United States after President Trump ended a loophole that for years had allowed cheap packages under $800 to flow into the country without being hit with extra fees. But that's over now. As of Friday, Trump closed that nearly century-old provision known as the de minimis exemption. Now take a look at this map. Postal companies around the world saying they just can't send their goods here because of these new rules, including France, Japan, Mexico, Germany. Now those cheap goods from abroad, think electronics, makeup, clothing, could be a whole lot pricier and take longer to get here. Those packages now face either 10 to 50% tariffs, depending on what country they're coming from, or a flat fee of about $80 to $200.
So consumers and businesses, everybody trying to figure this all out.
Exactly. Experts saying don't be surprised if you're getting a cancellation.
Olivia, thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Gio?
All right, guys, now to confusion over COVID vaccines as some major pharmacies pause distribution. This after those firings at the CDC by Health Secretary RFK Jr. ABC senior White House correspondent Selena Wang is in Washington with the latest this morning. Good morning, Selena.
Hey, Gio, good morning. Now, depending on where you live, it is now harder to get a COVID vaccine shot. This comes as Health Secretary RFK Jr. is pushing major changes to the nation's vaccine policy.
This morning, growing confusion over how and where Americans will get the new COVID vaccine, with changes to vaccine policy fueling turmoil at the CDC. Just as the new vaccines are rolling out to pharmacies across the country, CVS announces it will limit access to the shot in 16 states, requiring prescriptions in 13 states, including New York, Florida, and Colorado, and simply not offering it in 3 others. Walgreens says they'll give vaccines in states where we are able to do so. It comes just days after the FDA approved the COVID vaccine for this fall, only for Americans over 65 and adults and younger people at high risk. But a critical CDC panel is not expected to give their recommendation for several more weeks.
Because of that uncertainty, it is putting a lot of hesitancy among pharmacists and patients around what that coverage may actually look like at the end of the day.
The White House insists the vaccine will still be available for all Americans who want it, but pressed on whether insurance will continue to cover it, the White House sidestepping.
The FDA's decision does not affect the availability of COVID vaccines for Americans who want them. We believe in individual choice.
It comes as HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a longtime vaccine skeptic, moves to overhaul U.S. vaccine policy, this week ousting the head of the CDC, Susan Manares, when she refused to get on board with his changes. Her lawyer saying she refused to rubber stamp unscientific, reckless directives and fire dedicated health experts.
But RFK Jr. is plowing ahead, naming his deputy Jim O'Neill as the interim CDC director. This is someone who has said in the past that he supports vaccines, but not vaccine mandates. But right now, you already have COVID cases ticking up and the winter season approaching. Some medical groups are warning against putting limits on who can get the shot, saying that this could have dangerous consequences. Mary?
Yes, so many just looking for some clarity. Selena, thanks. Now to President Trump's removal of Secret Service protection for former Vice President Kamala Harris. Trump has ordered the Department of Homeland Security to revoke Harris's protection as of Monday. The move strips away an extension that President Biden gave Harris, giving her an additional year of protection on top of the 6 months offered under federal law. Now, it's not clear what prompted this sudden change, but it comes just as Harris is about to begin her book tour.
To the Mideast now, and Israel declaring Gaza City a combat zone as Israeli forces prepare to move ahead with their offensive. Marcus Moore is joining us now with the latest from overnight. Marcus, good morning.
Well, hey, Whit, good morning. Gaza City being declared as the dangerous combat zone essentially marks the start of that expanded military operation that the UN, international aid organizations, and others have warned will make the humanitarian situation in Gaza even worse. Israel has called up 60,000 reservists for this operation that could last for some time. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said that the military action in Gaza City is necessary to defeat Hamas and also secure the release of the remaining hostages. And it comes amid word that Israel has recovered the bodies of 2 hostages. One of them is Ilan Weiss, who was taken on October 7th as he defended his kibbutz. A second hostage body has not been identified. Now, Israeli officials say they are committed to returning every single hostage, both the living and the dead. And as we watch this operation unfold, roughly 1 million Palestinians are in the city, most who are now forced to move once again to find safety. And Gio, it's adding to growing calls for an immediate end to this war.
Yeah, and so many still losing their lives. All right, Marcus, thank you so much. We go to Ukraine now, and the new shipment of U.S.-made weapons heading there. The State Department says thousands of extended-range missiles and GPS navigation kits are included in the shipment to Ukraine. 3 European nations, Denmark, the Netherlands, and Norway, are paying $825 million for the weapons. This coming as Ukrainian officials meet in New York with White House officials in ongoing peace efforts.
Gio, we're learning new details in the deadly church shooting in Minnesota. 7 of the wounded still in hospitals this morning. ABC's Christian Cordero is in Minneapolis with the latest. Christian, good morning.
Whit, good morning. We are getting key pieces of new evidence that offer a grim understanding of the shooting here at Annunciation Catholic School. 18 people were injured. 2 students were killed. ABC News has obtained new search warrants, one from the church that details physical evidence found at the crime scene, including unspent rounds and weapons. Another warrant is related to a conversation investigators had with the suspect's father. He allegedly told police the suspect recently broke up with a romantic partner. Police have also now spoken with the suspect's mother, who officials say worked at Annunciation as recently as 2021. Now, of the 18 people injured, 7 are still hospitalized. All are expected to survive. The community over the past few days has come together through several vigils, mourning the lives of 8-year-old Fletcher Merkel and 10-year-old Harper Moisky. Fletcher's dad wants people to remember his son for how he lived, not how he died. And now, as police continue to search for answers, families here, Mary, are demanding change. Mary.
That community now coming together. Christian, thanks. Now to an alleged threat to a public school in Washington, D.C. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco and Firearms saying a social media post alerted agents to a potential threat against the school earlier this week. The ATF saying it seized a number of weapons after searching a student's home.
Major developments this morning in the break-ins at the homes of some big celebrities and sports figures. ABC's Jacqueline Lee joins us with the details. Jacqueline, good morning.
Wait, good morning. Officials say they arrested the suspect for one robbery, which they say led to a pawn shop with a trove of stolen jewelry. They say this prime suspect is linked to a series of other robberies and violent crimes.
This morning, new details in the arrest of a Seattle man after SWAT teams say they raided a pawn shop and uncovered hundreds of thousands of dollars of stolen goods belonging to the rapper Macklemore and likely other professional athletes. Police arresting this man, 29-year-old Patrick Masonette, in connection with the home invasion robbery, calling him the prime suspect with a lengthy rap sheet of violent offenses. In June, police believe Masonette and an accomplice targeted Macklemore's home.
Priority residential burglary. Confirmed our victim has been pepper sprayed. She's unable to verify if there's any weapons.
Alleging the two men broke in and attacked a nanny with bear spray. She was watching Macklemore's 3 children. According to police, 2 masked men made off with bags filled with watches, shoes, and jewelry.
There were hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of jewelry, watches, rings, things of that nature.
Authorities now saying they found many of those jewels during the pawn shop raid, including a custom Seattle Sounders FC championship ring that Macklemore flashed in his music video, Chant.
I was supposed to be a one-hair ringer. Now I got too many rings and not enough fingers.
Macklemore, known for hit songs like Thrift Shop, was not home at the time of the robbery.
I'm gonna pop some tags, only got $20 in my pocket.
The arrest happening just after prosecutors charged another man with the burglary of the homes of former Seattle professional athletes, including what appears to be an attempted burglary at the home of Mariners Hall of Famer Edgar Martinez.
Police say they are still searching for a second suspect involved in the Macklemore robbery. Detectives are expected to refer criminal charges to the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office in the coming days. Mary.
Just a disturbing trend, Jacqueline. Thank you. And now changing gears here to the excitement building over another enormous lottery jackpot. The Powerball prize tonight reaching a cool $1 billion. Yes, billion with a B. ABC's Ashan Singh joins us with more. So, Ashan, you got your ticket there yet?
Got my ticket, and I hope you do too, Mary, because the lottery fever is back heading into this Labor Day weekend with a $1 billion pot. The Powerball jackpot was raised from $950 million to the full 9 zeros, hitting the $1 billion club for just the 6th time in the drawing's history. Now, it's important to note that the cash value of the jackpot is actually just over $453 million before taxes, but the number is still astronomical. If someone hits all 6 numbers at tonight's drawing, they have a choice of taking the cash prize now or an annual payments that rise over 5% for 30 years. Just for context, the 3 biggest Powerball jackpots were $2.04 billion in California in 2022, $1.765 billion also in California in 2023, and a pot of $1.586 billion back in 2016 that was shared by winners in California, Florida, and Tennessee. Now, guys, tickets are $2 and sold in more than 45 states and territories. With the drawing at 10:59 p.m. Eastern, players should be warned that the odds of hitting the jackpot are 1 in 292.2 million.
All right, now to a huge weekend in college football with the 3 top 10 matchups ahead. ABC's Victor Oquendo joins us from the University of Miami. Victor, good morning to you.
Good morning, Whit. Fans have had this weekend circled on the calendar for months now. For the first time in college football history, opening week includes 3 matchups between top 10 teams. Yes, we're here at the University of Miami campus. The Canes have a huge game to wrap up the weekend. But first, we have top 10, top-ranked Texas and number 3 Ohio State playing today. Buckeyes are the defending national champs, but like most college programs now, there is a lot of turnover from year to year, and they have a freshman at quarterback. The Longhorns quarterback, one of the most recognizable names in the sport, Arch Manning. All eyes will be on him. Another big one tonight, LSU and Clemson going head-to-head right here on ABC. 2 storied programs with a bunch of similarities beyond sharing a mascot name and home stadiums they call Death Valley. Each team has an elite quarterback and a prolific passing game. And we have Sunday games too, headlined by the University of Miami and Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish looking to make another deep run. The Miami Hurricanes and this alum hoping to make a statement on week 1. Mary?
Getting in your plug there.
Yeah,
You're a good alum, Victor.
Objectively,
Thank you.
of course.
Yes. And still ahead here, ESPN's Desmond Howard gives us his analysis on the weekend's big games and what he thinks is ahead for Arch Manning.
Plus, also ahead here, an expanded recall of potentially radioactive shrimp.
And Robin Roberts on the lasting impact on children 20 years after the devastation of Hurricane Katrina.
Do we have? We do, a marriage proposal on the big screen. Now, this is pressure.
Welcome back to GMA. This U.S. Open, it'll be remembered by one young couple for something other than the tennis. During last night's third-round match between Aryna Sabalenka and Leila Fernandez, a man got down on one knee as the packed stadium watched, the man encouraging the crowd. He pulled out a ring, and everyone in the stadium getting into the act, cheering the couple on. And she did say yes, so that's good news.
Always good.
That's good news. Coming up here, how the U.S. Open is celebrating a tennis break.
I love the crowd, like fist bumping.
Oh, yeah.
That's always a good one.
And the announcer going, oh, the pressure.
The play-by-play.
It all worked out.
All right, now let's take a look at some of the other big stories we're following this Saturday morning. A setback for President Trump's mass deportation efforts. A federal judge temporarily blocking the government's expanded use of expedited removals of undocumented migrants. The judge saying migrants detained at courthouses or elsewhere other than at the border are entitled to due process. So for now, expedited removal can only be used within 100 miles of the border and for anyone who entered the country within 14 days.
The FDA is expanding its recall of frozen shrimp because of possible radiation contamination. The new alert includes more than 40,000 bags, all from the same Indonesian processor and sold under the Kroger brand. Consumers are warned to throw the shrimp away.
Boy, that's concerning. And Spirit Airlines has filed for bankruptcy again. It's the second time in a year. The no-frills carrier says that there will be no impact on Labor Day weekend travel, and all tickets will be honored. It plans to reduce flights and cut its network in order to save hundreds of millions a year.
And a stampede of dolphins. Yes, that's right. I'll admit I didn't know this was a thing. The stampede thrilling tourists on a whale watching vessel off Newport Beach in California. The mammals following right alongside the boat there. Some of the dolphins launching themselves more than 10 feet in the air. One scientist says it's not common behavior, but it certainly shows their playful side.
That.
Learn something new every day.
And how high they're jumping out of the water.
I know.
Incredible. All right, we are going to start this half hour with other athletes, human athletes. A closer look at the start of the college football season and the teams looking to go all the way this year. We are so happy to welcome back here Heisman Trophy winner and ESPN football analyst, our buddy Desmond. Howard, it is great to see you, my friend.
It's great to see you guys this morning, too, sitting here in the home of the defending national champs, the Ohio State Buckeyes. They're going to welcome the Texas Longhorns this afternoon. I tell you what, guys, the college football season has come out swinging in week one with a matchup of this magnitude.
And nobody gets the crowd going like you, Desmond. All right, number one Texas takes on the reigning national champs in Columbus. Can Arch Manning lead the Longhorns to an early statement win here?
I think so. You know, you look at Arch Manning now, he's been in this system. He's been at Texas for 3 seasons, so he's a guy who's played some football. Those are the pros. And plus, he has Steve Sarkisian, not only the head coach, but one of the best offensive play callers in all of college football. They've gathered a lot of data on my man Arch Manning, so they know what he likes, what he dislikes, what his strengths and weaknesses are. But this is going to be an environment like none he's ever seen before. He's never completed a pass on the road. And now he's coming into the shoe against Ohio State. And this Buckeyes defense, this crowd is going to be wild. They're going to be crazy. How is he going to handle the crowd? That's going to be very important to see how successful he's going to be. But he has the tools around him. And plus, he got Steve Sarkisian calling the plays.
I think the crowd enjoyed your analysis in that last answer. Hey, we've been talking about all these top 10 matchups this weekend. Another one, the battle for Death Valley on ABC. What do you think? Is Clemson the team to beat this time?
Listen, you look at Dabo's roster this year. You have Cade Klubnik. Now, he's one of the more veteran quarterbacks in the conference and in the league, really. He's been there 3 years. He's a very dangerous quarterback, throwing the ball or running. Their roster is full of talented receivers, especially Antonio Williams, who averaged 12 yards per catch, 11 touchdowns a year ago. And defensively, too, they got some studs on that side of the ball. It's just going to be a matter of how do they come out against LSU. Big game tonight, 7:30 prime time. Which Death Valley is going to stand up? We will see when LSU plays Clemson.
We will see. And this is an emotional day for lots of reasons. This game day show is now Coach Corso's last, preparing to make his final pick.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's going to be like an emotional roller coaster for us up here. I mean, because Coach Corso, he's one of one, none before him, none to come. He's a legend. He's an icon. And we just feel so honored and so blessed, not only to spend the time that we have with him, but to be able to honor him and to show him just how much we love and appreciate everything he's given to the players that he coached and to the fans in the one sport that he loves the most, college football. There may not be a dry eye on this desk, so make sure you tune in to College Game Day at 9 a.m. Eastern. We call this show a unicorn type of show because it's going to be something like we've never, ever done before. You're going to make sure you don't miss this show.
Oh, no one rocks a mascot hat like he does.
Isn't that amazing how many he rocked? That's awesome. Desmond Howard, as always, my friend, it is good to see you. Thank you for being here, and welcome back to GMA Saturday. And you can catch College Game Day, Lee Corso's final show, of course, live from Columbus, Ohio at 9 Eastern on ESPN.
In the great sport of Labor Day shopping, stores are holding their end of summer sales, and if you can pull yourself away from the barbecue, there are a lot of savings to be had. ABC's Will Gans has been tracking down the deals. Hey, Will, good morning.
I was able to pull myself away from the barbecue, people. We are putting the labor into Labor Day weekend because saving money is a full-time job, people. Let's start with the best part of any day, nap time. If you're in the market for a new mattress, now's a great time to buy. Casper is offering 35% off the Snow and Snow Max mattresses and 35% off Casper's bundles when you sign up for Casper emails. At Mattress Firm, get 67% off the Sealy Frisco 2.0 medium Euro pillow top mattress. That's usually $1,500. This weekend, only $494. And at JCPenney, the Serta Perfect Sleeper Blue Lagoon mattress and box spring is 63% off, normally $2,200. Today, it's $804.45.
Those are big savings, and a mattress is a major purchase.
Yeah.
Okay, what about clothing?
I'm glad you asked. This is great for parents. Land's End is offering back to school and summer clearance, 50% off site-wide and 75% off clearance items like this Kids Sherpa full zip-up jacket, under $30 with code ACORN, and over at DSW, back to school shoes and more are 20% off with code Labor Day 20. Metallic Mary Janes, for example, $14 off. How's that for bling from head to toe?
You got to have a new pair of blingy shoes to start the year. All right, now what about if you're heading outdoors for a little fun?
All right, I've got our last outdoor summer adventure all planned out. At REI, you'll get up to 30% off select items like Campwell folding chairs or the Hunker Down 20 sleeping bag. And at Dick's Sporting Goods, you can score $100 off select Quest kayaks. The Yeti Hopper Flip 8 cooler is $40 off. Yeti cooler's always a big purchase. And the Quest Overlook 6-person dome tent is $89.99 this weekend, down from its usual asking price of $149.99.
Now on GMA, and as the U.S. Open finishes up its first week of some amazing tennis matches, we're remembering a woman who broke barriers in the sport. ABC's Morgan Norwood has more on the players honoring Althea Gibson's legacy. Morgan, good morning.
Good morning to you, Whit. You know, when you think of the greats in tennis, the names that shape the game, there's one that many may not know of, but should. Well, today and all week at the U.S. Open, her presence is being felt loud and clear. Before the Williams sisters dominated the court, before Sloane Stephens cemented her name on ash, before Coco Gauff was even born, there was one woman. 75 years ago, the then 23-year-old Althea Gibson breaking tennis's color barrier. The first black player to compete at the U.S. Nationals, now the U.S. Open. Gibson went on to win the title 2 times and finished her career with 5 Grand Slams under her belt.
She was my shero. She's the one.
A great way to win a championship.
A trailblazer in her own right, Billie Jean King says she was inspired by Gibson.
Althea Gibson is our Jackie Robinson of tennis. And I think people need to know that, and I don't think they do. Without her, there wouldn't have been an Arthur Ashe. It wouldn't have been the Williams sisters.
Those words are echoed by the tennis champs of today.
Althea accomplished so much, and a lot of it has not been given the credit it deserves and the attention and the praise.
It's incredible people that were able to do certain things for us to be doing certain things now, right? And you always got to pay that forward.
She opened doors so that Venus and Serena could walk through them. She opened doors so I can run through them.
And this year, the U.S. Open honoring Althea Gibson's long-lasting legacy through art, dotted all around the grounds.
It has been the biggest honor of my career.
The woman behind the creations, artist Melissa Kobe.
I just wanted to try to include as much as possible without being too literal, and hopefully it gets across.
Oh, it's been unreal. It's perfect. You did it just right.
She was just more than a tennis player. She was a singer. She was a golfer. She overcame a lot. She broke the color barrier. I wanted to be able to have a piece that had layers, as many layers as she possessed.
Kobe herself, also a pioneer, the first Black artist chosen to create the U.S. Open theme art.
It's all about Althea today, and tomorrow I'll be like, wow, you did that. But for today, I'm celebrating her.
Inspiring all around. And in a week where the game is paying homage to trailblazers, Taylor Townsend is making her own statement. A major upset over the 5th seed last night, just days after being disrespected by a previous opponent. She is tuning out the noise and pressing on. And we were talking about Coco Gauff, also taking the court today. So it will be really exciting to see that.
Can't wait to see her get back out there later this morning.
Absolutely.
Morgan,
Thank you,
thanks.
Morgan. Back now with our play of the day and the start of a beautiful but unusual friendship. Take a look at this. A howler monkey named Baya and a capybara named Rebecca have formed a special bond in the habitat.
Oh,
look how cool. At the Denver Zoo,
face.
guests have spotted the older monkey snuggling against the bigger capybara's side and even hitching a ride. Look at this picture when we show you right here. You wouldn't find these two species together in the wild since capybaras roam grasslands, howlers spend their time in trees, but you know, clearly they belong together, don't you think?
Yes. Oh, I love that.
Very cute.
Yeah.
Very cute.
All right, coming up on GMA in our second hour, our cover story, 20 years after Hurricane Katrina hammered the Gulf Coast. Robin looks at the lasting impacts felt by children displaced from their homes.
And our Labor Day weekend edition of Binge This, what to watch when you're back in from the beach.
And looking ahead here to the rivalry revisited between Notre Dame's Fighting Irish and University of Miami's Hurricanes. Stick around, you're watching GMA on a Saturday morning. Good morning, America. It's our second hour. Air scare, severe turbulence tossing passengers from their seats.
Someone in front of me hit the ceiling several times.
Oxygen masks dropping, personal items scattered in the aisle.
We will need a stretcher, and I know that there is bleeding as well.
Pilots calling ahead for help before making an emergency landing, all on what's expected to be a record travel weekend.
Katrina, 20 years later, 2 decades after the storm of the century ravaged the Gulf Coast, Robin Roberts returns to her hometown, bringing us a look at the kids of Katrina.
Dealing with the storm, being a child, it kind of forced you to just grow up.
How the storm changed them and where they are now.
This Labor Day weekend, we're breaking down what to binge, from what to stream on the small screen to the fresh feature films you won't want to miss, and the movies celebrating big milestones.
Final countdown to kickoff, and we have all your game day eats, from Notre Dame nachos to chimichurri dog. Chef Jason Goldstein is here live with all the bites for your watch party as we say,
live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Saturday. Good morning, America.
Mary, you chose a good weekend for today.
I come for the food.
You did.
Really. Yes.
Those
the
Notre Dame
nachos are
nachos.
what bring me to the desk. Yes.
Good morning, America. It is good to see you. We're counting down to the weekend's college football games with some game day eats. You don't want to miss that. We don't want to miss that. That's coming up.
Exactly.
But before we get to that, there is a lot of news happening this morning, including new details on the deadly church shooting in Minnesota. We'll go live to Minneapolis in a moment.
But we do begin here with the Labor Day weekend travel crush, and already one scary moment in the air and what's expected to be a record-setting travel weekend. ABC's Morgan Norwood is here with the latest. Morgan, good morning.
Good morning to you. What a scary morning indeed, or scary moment rather. A packed flight rocked midair. Passengers were frantic. Oxygen mask falling and then personal items sent flying throughout the cabin. But all of it caught on camera and unfolding during one of the busiest travel weekends of the year.
A heart-pounding scene aboard the SkyWest flight after severe turbulence suddenly rocked the cabin. Oxygen masks dropping from overhead.
We had really, really bad turbulence, and I've never seen anything like this.
The flight with 39 passengers on board traveling from Aspen, Colorado to Houston, making an emergency landing 165 miles short in Austin. Passengers tossed around.
Someone in front of me hit the ceiling several times. Grown man flew up like a rag doll.
On the radio, pilots calling ahead for help.
We will need a stretcher, and I know that there is bleeding as well.
2 passengers taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, purses and papers scattered into the aisle, soda dripping from the ceiling, and what appears to be a laminated food menu piercing the roof.
My iPad and phone, are 3 or 4 or 5 rows back.
I looked down and there was a cell phone in my lap that wasn't mine that came I guess it flew up and landed in my lap.
That incident amid an already bumpy start to the Labor Day travel weekend, from crowded airline terminals to that system failure at Newark Airport. The FAA still investigating what caused those ATC radios to malfunction in one of America's busiest airspaces.
And this morning, SkyWest, which operates that flight, says the plane did land safely and was met immediately by medical crews. SkyWest says it's working with its partner United to help customers, Mary.
Yeah, a frightening start to the holiday weekend for those travelers. Yeah. Morgan, thank you. And now to President Trump losing a significant battle in his push to impose sweeping tariffs on global trading partners. A federal appeals court ruling that the president has no legal authority to impose those surcharges. ABC's Olivia Rubin joins us now with all the details. Olivia, good morning again.
Mary, good morning. You know as well as anyone that this is a major blow to a cornerstone of President Trump's agenda, and it could have the biggest impact on your wallet, though not quite yet. A federal appeals court striking down most of Trump's sweeping tariffs, finding that he overstepped his authority when implementing them. Now, this all comes down to exactly how Trump enacted these tariffs, by using a rarely used law that gives the president special authority after a national emergency. The court essentially saying that was illegal, writing instead that tariffs are a core congressional power. But this ruling won't come into effect until at least October, giving Trump plenty of time to appeal. And he's already indicated he'll do exactly that. Trump calling this decision, quote, a total disaster, and vowing to get it reversed by the Supreme Court. Gio.
So a lot to watch there. All right, Olivia, thank you so much. Now to the new details that we're learning about the deadly church shooting in Minnesota. 7 of the wounded are still in the hospitals this morning. And ABC's Christian Cordero is right there in Minneapolis with the latest now. Good morning, Christian.
Gio, good morning. We are getting key pieces of new evidence that offer a grim understanding of the shooting here at Annunciation Catholic School. 18 people were injured. 2 students were killed. ABC News has obtained new search warrants, one from the church that details physical evidence found at the crime scene, including unspent rounds and weapons. Another warrant is related to a conversation investigators had with the suspect's father. He allegedly told police the suspect recently broke up with a romantic partner. Police have also now spoken with the suspect's mother, who officials say worked at Annunciation as recently as 2021. Now, of the 18 people injured, 7 are still hospitalized. All are expected to survive. The community over the past few days has come together through several vigils, mourning the lives of 8-year-old Fletcher Merkel and 10-year-old Harper Moisky. Fletcher's dad wants people to remember his son for how he lived, not how he died. And now, as police continue to search for answers, Whit, families here are demanding change.
Yeah, absolutely. And so many questions there. Christian, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Now we do want to get into something that a lot of people are talking about, shifting gears here a little bit, because who wants to be a billionaire? The Powerball jackpot climbing to $1 billion for tonight's drawing. $453 million if you take the cash option. Is there really another option? Right? Like, you wait 30 years? No, you take the cash. No one has matched all 5 numbers in the Powerball since May. The current jackpot ranks 6th among the all-time top prizes. The largest was over $2 billion in 2022.
But I'll take the billion.
I'll take the $1 billion. Yeah. What is that? 453?
Yes. We've got plenty of ideas we can do with that.
All right. And of course, college football season is kicking off in a big way with a major game between Notre Dame and the University of Miami. The first matchup between the rival teams in years. Victor Akendo is back at his beloved U Miami with all the details. Hey, Victor, good morning.
Hey, Mary, good morning from the University of Miami campus, joined here by members of the Spirit Squad. How are we feeling this morning, guys? I love it. We are closing in on this big matchup between 2 top 10 teams, the University of Miami and Notre Dame. Last season, the Fighting Irish making it all the way to the national championship game, coming up just short, losing to Ohio State. They have a new quarterback leading the way. Freshman C.J. Carr, recently named the starter. The read on Carr, great arm, solid skill set, but he's yet to play at this level. Does help to have a great offensive line and running game to support him. The Hurricanes had to replace a number of key players from last year, but they feel great about their starting quarterback. Making his Miami debut, Carson Beck. He's played under the bright lights before and has a great resume already. The big question for Miami this season, their defense. That unit struggled last year. Head coach Mario Cristobal had to work to overhaul it, even replacing the defensive coordinator. These teams have a long history going back to the 1980s, but they haven't played since 2017. Guys, who's going to win on Sunday? You heard it. A rivalry renewed right here on ABC. I'll send it back to you guys.
Oh, Victor, it is good to see you at your alma mater there.
Total homer.
UM. All right, thank you so much. You can catch the matchup between UM and Notre Dame Sunday at 7:30 p.m. right here on ABC.
And coming up in our GMA morning menu, we're getting you ready for fall with the latest beauty trends this season.
And counting down to the weekend's college football games, we are turning up the heat right here with recipes for Notre Dame nachos and UM sausage dogs and more gridiron goodies. Stick around for that.
Definitely looking forward to that. Also, it has been 20 years since Hurricane Katrina. Robin Roberts travels to Louisiana for a look back. And welcome back to our GMA cover story. A look at Robin Roberts' powerful new special, Hurricane Katrina, 20 years after the storm. 2 decades after the storm devastated the Gulf Coast, Robin is bringing us the stories of the kids of Katrina and how they're doing now.
The eye of the storm not far from my beloved hometown of Pass Christian, Mississippi, leaving a trail of pain and destruction.
It's so important for people to realize the long-term effect that a storm like Katrina can have. Even if an area builds back, you still have families who lost their inheritance, if you will.
The psychological effects of such a tragedy, one of the worst natural disasters in our nation's history, even more difficult for so-called Katrina babies to process.
Ever since I was a little girl, I just loved the city and loved everything about it and the people. Literally a week before Katrina was my birthday, so I turned 9. Everybody who was my age, all the Katrina babies, we had to do the same thing because it was just like this. In the twinkling of an eye, our lives changed.
There was maybe a year of time where I was away from home. Functioning, it was just surviving. Part of you as a kid gets excited because you're finally going back home. But then you're also hit with the reality that home is no longer the same anymore the moment you arrive. It's hard to think about what your life is gonna look like. All it seems like is that you're having to rebuild an entirely new life.
Dealing with their trauma and rebuilding their lives, Jeremy now finds peace in photography.
Art was my escape.
And Jasmine finding joy the New Orleans way through music.
Music had become my therapy. It was almost like I was a sponge. And I just couldn't get enough.
We have trauma to heal from. We have wires to untangle mentally. So it's just a lot that you have to kind of unpack. So me at 31 years old, I'm still unpacking.
So powerful. Yeah, Hurricane Katrina, 20 years after the storm with Robin Roberts. Produced by Robin's production company, Rockin' Robin Productions and ABC News Studios. It can be streamed on Hulu and Disney+. Just incredible.
Really incredible. All right, and now Labor Day weekend is here, and it's been a blockbuster summer at the movies and on streaming. And now as we head into fall, Will Gans is right here to help us kick off the weekend with a special edition of...
Yeah.
Wow. That was a risk, by the way. The big pause.
It's like a nice dramatic pause. All right, let's start things off with the streaming options.
Yes, okay, so I want to start up with something for the whole family. Sketch is a PG-rated thriller for the whole family about what happens when a girl's sketches of monsters and fantastical creatures start to come to life when her sketchbook falls into a pond with powers. It co-stars Tony Hale from Veep and Darcy Carden from The Good Place. Has 96% 90% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
Yeah, you can rent it now on Amazon Prime Video. I watched it yesterday, and I call it a thriller because it's very suspenseful. Like, the suspense build from when you know these things are starting to come to life to when they finally start affecting the family. It's fun. It's a fun watch.
I like the Pond of Powers.
Pond of Powers, indeed. Or if your For You page has been filled with Team Conrad versus Team Jeremiah content, that might be a sign to start watching The Summer I Turned Pretty. This is a show based on the Jenny Han book series about a girl named Belly, which is short for Isabel, who vacations at the same beach house every summer and begins to fall in love with not one, but two brothers. The moody, complex, and brooding older brother Conrad and the golden retriever-style younger brother Jeremiah. We're a few weeks away from the series finale, so now might be the perfect time to start binging to keep up with the online discourse. I was talking
golden retriever style?
Yes, which, by the way, is you for the record.
Okay.
It's an optimist, someone who's a lot of energy, fun stuff like that.
I'm gonna have to Google that during the break.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
I can attest that one is very bingeable. But
Yes.
okay, if you want to check out something that's more full-length feature, what should we be looking at?
All right, on the big screen, Austin Butler has swapped out his Elvis outfit for bruises and bloody knuckles in the violent crime comedy from Darren Aronofsky. It's called Caught Stealing. Darren Aronofsky is the director behind The Black Swan and The Wrestler. Austin plays a bartender with a tragic past who volunteers to watch his neighbor's cat while he's away, which is fine until thugs show up intent on finding that neighbor. It's a New York City grimy, bloody adventure co-starring Zoe Kravitz and Regina King. It's not for the squeamish, but it's a fun big screen flick to check out this weekend. I had a good time at the theater with that one. Or a much more demure and mindful whodunit arrives on Netflix this weekend in The Thursday Murder Club. It's about a group of silver-haired sleuths, played in part by Helen Mirren and Pierce Brosnan, and other British legends who band together to solve a murder at their posh retirement community. Streaming now on Netflix.
Oh, I love that.
It's so British. It's so British. In a good way. Complimentary.
Okay, you know I love my throwbacks.
Yes.
What you got?
All right, so before we get to throwbacks, are you guys a little chilly? Because, it's cold in here. There must be some clovers in the atmosphere. Guys, bring it on. Turn 25 years old this week.
That was a risk, too.
I know.
High risk.
Yeah, Gabrielle Union sharing on Instagram. Back then, I never would have imagined stepping into the East Compton Clover uniform would bring so many blessings. All I can say is keep bringing it because we'll be forever here for it. You can bring it on by rewatching Bring It On Prime or Apple TV. By the way, also celebrating a pop culture anniversary, Mary Poppins turning 61 this week. Julie Andrews, Dick Van Dyke, and the gang are streaming now on Disney+. If you were looking for an excuse to rewatch the movie that earned her Oscar, I mean, come on, she's practically perfect in every way.
Perfect in every way. Never need an excuse to go back and watch
Yes,
that one.
that's right.
Thank you, Will. Thank you. All right, let's take a walk, shall we? Let's head over here as we have a look at the must-haves for the fall season. Our lifestyle expert, Brittany Levine, is here with the latest trends, and everything, of course, as always, is shoppable.
Yes,
always good to see you. Thank you for being here. All right, change in season means maybe a chance to change up your beauty routine a little bit. So let's start with one of these huge trends that we're hearing a lot about, cherry blossom makeup.
Yes.
If you haven't heard of this, talk us through it. What's the rage all about?
It's huge, right? So we're seeing this all over TikTok, and this was going into the springtime, but cherry blossom is all about kind of embracing those romantic, ethereal tones. And you see that you talk about the cherry blossom flower, how pink it is, so corals and sheers, but actually Beauty Creations, they teamed up with Tokidoki. This just launched yesterday, right? And this is all inspired by Japan's Cherry Blossom Festival.
I love
that. So they've got these gorgeous blush trios, they've got these lotions, okay?
Ooh, they smell good.
They smell great.
They
There's
smell
the
great.
heart-stamped liners, eyeliners. So they come in gorgeous shades and tones, all again inspired by Japan's Cherry Blossom Festival. And I love it. It starts at $6, goes up to $99 for the whole collection if you want. But yeah, beauty lovers are already obsessed.
That's
So
amazing. I'm obsessed. Okay, let's
Yes.
talk about a fall lip.
Yeah,
shall we?
so I can't leave the house right now without, I'm not kidding you, they're all in my bag. So this is the Outset. It's their Lip Oasis Glossy Treatment. And if you haven't heard of the Outset, you might have heard of their skincare. Scarlett Johansson started this line.
Ooh.
Yes, and she's all about the best ingredients for your skin. But this is actually not just a gloss, it's a treatment. So it really helps to hydrate the lips, but it also gives you a little bit of a boost. And it doesn't have that stickiness, which
We
I
like
hate.
that.
Yes,
Yeah,
I know.
we don't want a
You don't
sticky
want
lip.
it, but it comes in 4 colors: clear, dune, mirage, and
great.
sun-kissed. And I'm telling you, I mean, these don't last, so get them while you can.
Now let's talk about this change of season.
Yes.
A deep clean is always a must.
Okay,
What's the
so
best way to get that done?
everyone knows about the iconic, it's like the Biore nose unclogging your pores, right? But now what they've come out with is a bubbling pore refining mask, okay? That actually with the fizz, it has like a little effervescent action that works here. It's for men and women, which we love. Only $17.99, and you'll start to feel those bubbles form to help unclog your
love
pores,
that.
really work in and take away a lot of the gunk, all the oil that we see on your daily basis.
Come
so
a long way
great
from
to
those
use.
beauty strips we used to use back in middle school.
Yeah, no, this is the real deal and also seen virally everywhere with all the bubbles.
Speaking about something we're seeing everywhere, talk to us about this body tool.
Okay, so
looked a little bit like a
Fascia
torture device.
No. Okay, beauty is pain, everybody, right? So what I like to say is this is the fascia blaster. If you open TikTok, it's everywhere, right? So what we're doing here is we're targeting our fascia, okay? And this is where it's that muscle and the tissue that surrounds these areas that it feels really nice actually. And we're trying to target to not only like diminish the appearance of cellulite, but really work those in to help with muscle tightness, soreness. You see it in the, like right here, the mobility.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, so it really works to help. And over time, they have so many different tutorials on their site too to help you do.
Talk us through it.
Yeah, to talk you through it and work with it. But yeah, fasciablaster.com starting at $35.
Great. And finally, who doesn't love a good hair accessory?
Of course. So the Hair Edit, this is like your one-stop shop for all of your curated hair accessories.
Love a hairband.
They also have hair tools as well. But what we're seeing for fall is a lot of headbands, which you just put on, okay? Very ethereal. Claw clips are everything.
They're back,
right?
big time.
Back, yep. You just throw your hair into a clip and go. But there's so many different types. Leopard, red. And the best part about it, $12.99 to $14.99. You can find these at Ulta. We absolutely love everything from the Hair Edit.
We love these. We love having you here to talk us through it. Brittany, thank you so much. Of course, you can shop these products. Just scan that QR code right there. We'll be right back.
Catchy, right? Back now on GMA with Sabrina Carpenter and Oscar nominee Coleman Domingo, paying homage to the Rocky Horror Picture Show and Sabrina's latest music video. And that's about all we can show you in the racing video here. The song is called Tears, and it's one of the tracks from her 7th studio album, Man's Best Friend, which dropped yesterday. Variety describing the record as what if ABBA had a sense of humor.
Oh,
I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe that she already has 7 albums.
I know.
It's
insane.
Yep.
And that she copied Whit's dance moves.
Right?
That's it, definitely. Yeah. Coleman Domingo, I showed him that one.
Yeah.
And from that to some of the other top headlines we're following right now, a setback for President Trump's mass deportation efforts. A federal judge temporarily blocking the government's expanded use of expedited removals of undocumented migrants. The judge saying migrants detained at courthouses or elsewhere other than at the border are entitled to due process. So for now, expedited removal can only be used within 100 miles of the border and for anyone who entered the country within 14 days.
And a major recall now this morning. More than 700,000 Ryobi electric pressure washers are being recalled due to a serious risk of injury. Officials say that the units can overheat and burst. The pressure washers were sold at major retailers, including Home Depot. There have been more than 30 reports of injuries.
And 3 brothers from Scotland are celebrating this morning. They set the world record for the fastest unsupported row across the Pacific Ocean. They arrived this morning in Australia from Peru after 139 days and more than 9,000 miles. Just ahead of their arrival, they called the marina to order pizza and beer to help celebrate.
That's how you feel.
They earned that.
Well deserved. Yeah, exactly. Incredible. All right, we turn now to our Connecting IRL series. That's short for In Real Life, and taking a look at fostering friendships. According to a study last year, many adults long for closer friendships and more time with friends. Kelly Kitley calls herself America's social worker, and she is joining us now this morning. It's great to have you, Kelly. Welcome.
Thank you. So good to be here.
So we were just having this conversation before we came on here because it is so difficult, I think, for adults to connect to other adults. And this is something that you're seeing. Why do you think that is so hard for some to make these new relationships?
You are absolutely right, Whit. You know, when we're in school, we have people within proximity, and it's easy to be around like-minded people, and we form groups. But when we get older, we start distancing ourselves, just not on purpose, but because we're maybe advancing in our career, or we're getting married or having children. And so the common interests change and people get busy. And so it's really important to hold on tight to the friendships that you do have. And it may not be somebody in your neighborhood. You know, I have friends that we will meet up twice a year and have really close, intimate relationships from a distance.
And we were talking about this. Everyone's busy. You know, we were saying most of our friendships come through work or our kids. You know, what's your advice to people who are trying to make new relationships in the middle of these, you know, really busy seasons of life?
Sure. So we have to make it a priority, because any behavior change that we have, we need to have top of mind and be action oriented. So whether that's having coffee with someone or meeting somebody at a yoga class, it is about taking risk. I call it friend dating sometimes, you know. And if you see the same person, that, you know, we can feel each other's energy, and maybe you're drawn to somebody in a class that you're with, whether it's an art class or a walking group, and say, hey, would you be interested in having coffee with me? And fostering the relationships too that we already have when we're already busy, we can make a call in the car on our way to work, or by sending somebody a text message and letting them know that we're thinking about them. So it is about small action items that make people feel important and connected.
You know, when we met, I was admitting to you that I like to be a little selective, right? And as we age, there really is a reason why we become more selective with our friendships.
You're absolutely right, because we don't have as much time and we want quality over quantity. So if we're showing up, you know, some of my clients will say, I was at a party last night and there were 50 people there. I felt lonely. And I said, well, how many in-depth connected conversations did you have? We're just kind of bopping around having small talk. Ask somebody, so what new project are you working on? What are you passionate about? Getting to a deeper connection by asking open-ended questions, rather than, hey, how was your family vacation? You know, just kind of chit-chat.
We were joking about Gio being so selective because he has so many friends, right? It's a
Gio
lot
has the
easier when
opposite
you're in
problem.
that situation. Exactly. So what is your advice to adults who are trying to make these new friendships?
Sure. So whether you're in a season of parenting or retirement or empty nesting, it is about making sure that you find people who have common interests. So, for example, my husband's an actor, and we have lots of people that we go and see shows with, and then we'll talk about that afterwards. You know, finding other people who have interests similar to ours, whether it's working out or cooking. I always suggest my clients sign up for a class, because it's 6 weeks, and if it's not what you expected and it's not great, it ends.
And once you make that connection, how do you maintain it? Because that's hard too.
Maintaining friendships in middle age is difficult. And so I think giving ourselves some grace and some compassion, sometimes I'll hear people say, well, they just don't make the effort anymore. And I encourage people to make the effort and extend an olive branch, and you will get that in return. And usually people's response is, I'm so busy too. I'm so sorry. Let's get something on the calendar. So I joke sometimes, you know, we have to look 6 weeks ahead of time for a coffee date. But you know what? When you leave, you will feel so much better and so glad that you made that.
And like you said, just a simple text message can go a long way sometimes.
It absolutely can. It feels so good.
And that point, too, that sometimes we're always blaming the other person, but we need
totally.
to look inward, too, in our own actions and our own efforts to maintain these relationships. Thank you so much, Kelly. Really appreciate you taking the time.
Great to be here. Thanks, you guys.
And be sure to check out the Kelly Kitley podcast, America's Social Worker Unfiltered.
Countdown to kickoff as we gear up for the major college football showdown of the weekend. Chef and cookbook author Jason Goldstein is here with us. Thank you so much for joining us.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm so grateful.
I know, it smells amazing. Once again, smell-o-vision. Someone's got to come up with that. So let's talk about this, because tomorrow Notre Dame takes on University of Miami. But this morning we're having a battle of the bites. Let's start off with the classic, the staple. We're talking about the dog.
All right, battle of the dogs. You guys ready?
Yes.
All right, so we're going to start with the Notre Dame Dahmer dog. It's big in the concession
That's this
stands.
one over here, right?
Yes,
Okay.
and it is everything a hot dog dreamed would be on top of it.
There's a lot going on there.
Yes, so I have a fun hack. First, for your bacon, you lay them out like bacon American soldiers on a sheet pan.
Okay.
400 degrees in the oven for about 10 minutes, and it comes out beautifully crispy like this, and no mess in the kitchen. So you chop it up, and we're gonna put them right onto our dog.
Do you need me to help with some stuff?
I like
that you say
dog. Dog. It's the,
on the
still
dog.
have to have the
It's
New York
the
in there,
dog.
even though it's Miami.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna put your caramelized onions
Right
on
here,
top
that's what
too.
this is for, I'm assuming?
Yeah, two
Okay.
tips for this. Only 1 tablespoon of olive oil, no matter how many onions you're using. Otherwise, it gets oily. And to save time, you put water, like a 1/4 cup water, cover it, and it cooks faster, 15 minutes
I didn't know that.
faster, so 3 minutes covered. And now we're gonna put our confetti for winning the game of blue cheese on top.
Blue cheese.
And it's sweet, jammy, salty. It's fabulous, and it's a touchdown.
Okay, before Miami, you've got the Miami dog for UN.
All right, here we go. You want to help out as well,
Yes,
too?
yep,
All
of
right.
course.
So we're going to put in some cilantro and some parsley in there as well, too. If you don't like cilantro, you can actually just
And I
use
can
all
try these,
parsley.
right? 'Cause
Yeah, go
somebody's
crazy.
gotta compare
Go crazy,
here.
yeah.
I love cilantro.
And then we're going to put some garlic in there, and then we're going to put in our red pepper flakes, oregano, and salt. And then the dressing is crazy easy. So you do that, and I'll do this, and we'll do it together. Ready?
So this is some vinegar? No.
Yep, vinegar, red wine vinegar, and then you're gonna put some olive oil, and then we mix it together. And don't make chorizo at home. Don't actually buy it because it tastes so fresh. You can make this a couple of days in advance, and it has its herbaceous flavor. And then cut the chorizo in half, and you'll get all that char on that grill, so extra crispy bits, and it goes right on top, just like
So
that.
this is the chimichurri.
And so easy.
Yeah, chimichurri with chorizo.
You had me.
that.
Bits. All right, let's talk about the ribs. Let's get into the ribs.
All right, really easy, really quick. 15 minutes per side in a slow cooker at 400 degrees. Your favorite seasonings, and then just smear on and paint on like Picasso ribs, your barbecue sauce, and literally that's it.
I can handle a good schmear. That's
Yes,
good. All right,
yes.
let's talk about the sides.
Okay, no need to assemble a sandwich or a hoagie. So this is a hoagie pasta salad. All the things you'd
cool.
put
I love
in a
that.
hoagie: cheese,
All right, it's time for
meats,
starting.
and Italian dressing, and it's so good. And then, finally, right
the
here, we
nachos.
our nachos, the battle of nachos. We can have fun with this, right? These are Cubano nachos from Miami, Notre Dame nachos. It has some corned beef in there as well, too, some cheese. And whichever nachos they eat the most of, that predicts who wins the game.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, the iced tea spritzer.
All right, this is the easiest drink ever, okay? Because you want to watch the game. You don't want to be making drinks, right? Half of a thing of hibiscus tea and half of a thing of ginger beer, and that's it. And then some frozen fruit on top, so it stays nice and cold.
That tastes really
Yeah.
good.
The ginger beer has a nice little tang to it. I
Yeah,
like that.
it's got like the bite, and it's good. It cuts through all of the other
Very
stuff right
nice.
in there as well too.
And you know, if all the nachos stick together, it counts as one nacho.
It does count as one nacho. Yes, yes.
He doesn't want to tilt the scale.
Oh,
Who's
yes,
gonna win,
yes.
so you're just eating everything.
It's crunch-tastic.
I guess he's saying that Notre Dame is no, Miami's winning. You're saying Miami's winning.
I'm winning.
Yes, yes, yes. And it's fun because then you get really into it. You can do the same thing with the hot dogs as well, too. Put them together, and whoever wins predicts that's who wins.
Jason, thank you so much,
Oh,
as
thanks for having
always.
me.
And thank you for the tasty snack that we needed. You, of course, can catch the matchup between University of Miami and Notre Dame Sunday at 7:30 p.m. here on ABC.
And coming up here, Will Gans is back with another round of Secret Sales. Stick around. Okay, we're back now with ABC Secret Sales, and Will is back here with great products for your home. Everything here, of course, is shoppable right now. Will, what's going on?
What's going on?
Okay, everybody has pests, and you have a solution here.
Everybody has pests, yes, and this is great for handling pests of the bug variety. I can't help you out with your annoying neighbors or anything like that. This is Bug MD, and it's better for you and bad for bugs. It fights ants, roaches, fleas, ticks, bed bugs in your home. And the great thing is it's powered by clove and cottonseed oils, which means it's safe for people, for pets, for
And you can
plants.
smell it. It's good.
Exactly. And there's a variety of products here. The stickers are great for kids who don't want to be lathered in that, like,
that's so
oil and
smart.
stuff like that. So you just put the sticker on your kids, or they can wear one of these bracelets. We also have zap traps, plug-in traps, sprays, a variety of things, and all of it is more than 40% off
You have
today
these little
from
lamps
Bug
right here,
MD.
too.
Yes.
Very cool.
Super cute.
Okay, let's go to the kitchen. What's going on here?
The Grate Plate. So this is so cool. It's these little ceramic plates, and you can grate right into it, just like
way.
this. And the other amazing thing is that they're safe for fingers, so you don't have to worry about scratching yourself or cutting yourself on these things. I love the colors and the varieties. Yes, ginger, garlic,
That is
cheese
very
over here.
cool.
Clever, right? Make a variety of sauces and dips, plus you'll get the silicone garlic peeler, and you'll also get these brushes, which are fabulous. They come with it as well. 15 colors, and you'll save 30% today from the Great Plate.
We're staying in the kitchen, but this is something for the kids.
Exactly. This is I'm the Chef 2, and these are STEM-based cooking kits. So you'll go on an edible adventure with your little ones. It comes with pre-measured ingredients and all of the things that you'll need. You can make things like wild turtle whoopie pies, galaxy donuts, each recipe infused with educational concepts that kids will learn as they bake, which is so fun.
S'mores over there.
Yep, today you'll save 40% from I'm the Chef 2.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, now what are we doing here?
Opal Cool. So this is perfect for relieving any aches and pains you might have. Yeah, exactly. That's great for if you have a migraine or something like this. So you can keep these in the freezer, and then this would be like for your lower back. That would be for your shoulders. And they're great for hot women of any age, you know, people who might be going from motherhood through menopause, anything like that. Cool therapy, soothing relief. And it's the good thing about it, you can feel it right now. It's cool. It's not uncomfortably cold
it's not.
the way
It's
an
not.
ice pack sometimes can be. Yeah, so today you'll save at least 35% on a big assortment of all of these products from Opal Cool.
Awesome. Okay, and these are very, very popular here at GMA.
Super chic. Yes, this is Katie did, and these are stylish tote bags. You can see they're quilted, which is great. The inside of them is water-resistant lining, so any spills that you might be worried about, you don't have to be worried about. It comes with detachable shoulder straps. You can see right here, so you can carry it a variety of different ways.
Light.
Yes, exactly. So light, so comfy to wear over the shoulder, however you might want to. 6 colors, and all of these chic quilted bags could be yours. Lots of pockets, too. Thank you for pointing that out. I forgot to shout that out. 6 colors, and you'll save 40% today from Katie Did.
You bring great stuff.
You know,
Thank you so much. And remember, you can shop these great products right now by scanning that QR code right there on your screen. Hey, and be sure to check out our August savings extravaganza with everything from travel, pickleball, sets to wristbands that help you regulate your body temperature. We've got savings just for you, so you can stream that now on Hulu. We had a lot of fun.
That was a blast.
That was a blast. All right, Sound of Music. Who's going to that?
Yeah, I was just like, wait a minute, GMA's going to be in South. I got to go, guys.
Hey, thanks for starting your day with us. And before we sign off here, we wanted to give a special shout out to our colleague, Herb King.
Yes, Herbie is an engineer in our edit operations and is leaving ABC after more than 4 decades. We just want to thank you so much for all of your incredible work.
Congratulations, Herbie. We hope you enjoy it and enjoy all that extra free time out on the water.
And we got you a mug.
There's a bow on it.
There's a golden bow just for you. Happy retirement.